Hi, I didn't tell the adventure of 2004 yet. That was an interesting story. 2004 May, I went on a pilgrimage to Italy right before I got divorced. It was a Franciscan pilgrimage. We went to all the St. Francis sites, plus Rome, and it was a good adventure and a transitional time for my life. I didn't really connect with the priest leading the pilgrimage. He was kind of creepy and he didn't know his prayers, so I thought he was a fraud. So I avoided him. But I came back from the trip and I went off medication, I believe, on the trip because it seemed so bizarre, some of the things that were happening. I thought, what? This world is so strange. Why am I taking medication? So, when you go off a psychiatric drug abruptly, it can cause problems, even for sane people. So, come August 25th, I believe, I believe I was probably hospitalized shortly for a time in July, and then August I had written somebody or something, and there was a white van in my apartment parking lot, and I got nervous that they were coming to take me back into the mental hospital. So I grabbed my purse, got in the car, had my passport with me, went up to Rochester, bought a few items in a duffel bag, and I went to Italy the next day. Back to Italy. So I went been in there in May, and I went in August. And I just boarded the planes and ended up in Florence. And from there, luckily my cash cards worked and stuff, so I could stay at hotels and things like that. So I bounded around Italy for 2 weeks, and then I started to get mental, I was poisoned by mercury. And I don't know if somebody slipped me something there or if it was just, I ended up back at Della Virna, which is the beautiful Santuario della Virna. It's a mountain top monastery, and I stayed there for a couple weeks, and they were nice to me, and I spoke to a man named Arno and told him my story with a little translating book, because at that point in my life I had begun to believe my children had been molested and that I was a KKK victim in my marriage. So I had this big drama to share with the priest and this Arno character, and I just I remember they gave me this, the monks gave me this and sent me on my way so that I couldn't stay there. And then they said, oh, Dante, why don't you go check out the historical site about Dante, because he wrote the Inferno. So, which is kind of funny. So I bopped around some more and ended up taking myself to a hospital in Assisi, and they put me in a mental hospital. And from there, I was there for 6 weeks, I believe. Maybe I came back October 31st via escort, and my father helped pay for the costs I incurred for the trip. But that was kind of interesting, whole experience. While I was there, I was focused on a man. Can you believe it? Surprise! No surprise at all. I was focused on Terry Giangreco, the orthodontist, who I believe he had worked on my teeth and then discharged me because I was inappropriate or something. I don't know. But anyway, I was just focused on him. I thought he was, I thought we were a thing. It was just like an imaginary thing. But in my delusional state, I don't know if the delusions are realizations or what. It's kind of a mystery. It's elderberry water with a little sugar. So, my eggs were harvested, so it's very possible that Terry got my eggs and has my children. That's possible. That is a possibility that has to be explored with my guardian angel. Anyway, I had this little picture of him and with me, and Arno said, you know, he's married, so there was some kind of connection there. CIA or whoever Arno was telling me things that I needed to know to be in reality based. But the monks said, you have to go home to your son. You have to go home to your son. Your son needs you. So that's what they said. And the best, or the nicest father there was brother Padre Paulo. I thought his name was Paul. I don't know if it really was, but there was a priest there that was very charming and very, just the eye contact made me feel validated. But that was the story of 2004, the adventure to Italy. And it was an interesting adventure, and I'm glad I went on it, because it was very, I don't know, supernatural, kind of like. Well, thanks for listening again to the stories of Amy Brandlin's memoir of Men and Adventures. Thank you.